Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner. If you're new round here, Chelsea drew to Nottingham Forest 1-1 at home against 10-man Nottingham Forest, may I add. So on paper, that result probably looks frustrating and unfair, and it maybe is, you can argue. However, if you watched the game and saw that Nottingham Forest almost nicked it towards the end and were constantly sat back denying us from every angle, both keepers decided to have saves of the month, both of them on both ends, it actually does seem okay, fair. I don't necessarily have a huge problem with it because I was there, I watched the performance, and it was difficult. It really was a struggle, and I knew that would be the case going into the game. I thought out of all these games we've had recently at home, this one would be the one that challenged us the most, and that was true. Yes, in hindsight, things probably changed a little bit when they did go a man down after Ward-Prowse was sent off, but honestly, I think it became even more difficult because then the pressure fell on us. We had not found ourselves in a situation like that yet, where it was so difficult to play against a low block, break them down and be consistently denied when opportunities to score arose. So yeah, very, very frustrating. There was a very feisty atmosphere both on the pitch, among the fans as well. It was raining and it was just that very, very frustrating game to watch. But one that I can still look at and take some positives away. Forest are a tough team to break down. They're a tough team to play against. If you watch their games, they're not really always involved in high score lines because it's all often cagey. They beat Liverpool narrowly 1-0 as well. So that's probably a reason and I guess a justification to say that it wasn't so bad that we drew against them. Now, in terms of the results and how we've recently been going, it's easier to be a little bit more disappointed with this one because it was an opportunity to take 3 points away, especially when you take into consideration that Villa drew to Manchester United, Tottenham lost as well, so we could have we could have really extended that lead a little bit more comfortably in top 4, but we are still in the top 4 heading into international break. So we'll talk about the game, we'll break it down. If you are watching this video right now, please hit the thumbs up button on it. Leave your comments as I go through mine and what you thought on the game, etc. If you enjoy it and you're not subscribed at the end of this video, hit that subscribe button to help the channel out. It would be really appreciative on my behalf. But let's talk about the game. So 11 changes once again after our win against Ghent earlier this week. All our players got to rest, reset after our win against Brighton last week, get our strongest 11 back out there, and it was exciting to see. I think a lot of the individual performances seemed a little bit flat at times just because, again, that's a testament to Forest making it really difficult. Playing that low block, we had to really play out wide because they pushed us out wide. We had to recycle a lot of our attacks and kind of pass it amongst each other in those triangles on both corner flags. Everything was really coming doun our right-hand side. Nottingham Forest at times was trying to walk it into the back of the net. Maybe he should have passed, maybe he should have scored a lot earlier than he did, but again, that was just a really tough game for us to play in. And again, a learning curve as well. I think that Enzo Maresca will take a lot away into international break. We obviously drew against Crystal Palace before going into the international break previously, so maybe that's a little bit of a pattern. But things improved after that, so I can take some heart from that we are on the right track. We're making the correct progress. Things seem to be improving. And as well, there's always the indication that things are still coming into place because every game we seem to praise different areas on the pitch. Sometimes we criticise Sanchez, like I often do. But today, or rather yesterday, was a very good indication that Sanchez can sometimes be in the spotlight for the right reasons because his shot-stopping ability, yes, absolutely great. He really saved us at the death of that game as well by pulling out those really class saves. So Forest could have nicked it in the last few minutes. Yeah. But overall in the first half, I think it was a bit slow sometimes moving forwards. I think we tried to keep possession a lot because we were fearful that when Forest hit us on the counter, and they could cause us problems at the back. So we really tried to be careful with some of our passes, maybe didn't take as many shots. It was often a bit too of a hot potato moment where we just needed players to take it upon themselves to have a shot when they could. And even when we were kind of dominating and all up in Forest's box, it seemed that when they got to us in the few moments they did in that first half, they were forcing saves out of Sanchez, and they still looked closer to scoring than we did, even when we dominated in possession. Going into the second half, I think, we saw what we dreaded and what we saw a lot of last season, conceding first almost from the get-go. Forest, obviously from a set piece, Chris Wood puts it away, and and then we're thinking, okay, now we are really disappointed that we haven't opened the scoring here first, and Forest seem to be in control here. It was very good to see, though, that Nottingham Forest, after, again, many attempts, backed himself once again to shoot, found the space, created it beautifully, an assist from Cole Palmer, another assist from Cole Palmer. Even when he looks like he's having a flat game for his standards, he's still managing to pull out assists, 4 saves out of their keeper too. Really unlucky not to score as well shortly after. But Nottingham Forest gives us the equaliser that we so need to get us back into that game. Beautifully put away. He celebrates, and we're back in the game. And then, of course, all hell breaks out onto the pitch. The referee was really not making things easier for us. Everything seems to be a foul in Forest's favour. Then obviously with Ward-Prowse's grabbing the ball from Jackson with his hands, collecting it to get a second yellow, not a straight red, but a second yellow. And that was the moment where everything broke out on the pitch. Maresca was knocked over. All our players were in there. Levi Colwill as well. He's our little troublemaker, isn't he? Levi Colwill loves a bit of a scrap on the pitch. It's all going off right in front of the dugouts, and it really did raise the tension in the stadium as well. The players could feel it, the fans could feel it, the managers could feel it, everyone could feel it, really much so. So Cole Palmer, as loads of clips have gone round, just sat on the pitch while all this was going down, just watching it, waiting to play his football, waiting for it to all be over. And when it eventually was over, we got back into it. Enzo Maresca made subs after they went a man down. He brought on a lot of attacking threat, which was great. Mudryk came on, Neto came on, and Nkunku came on. Levi Colwill, after his booking, was sensibly replaced by Tosin, who also came on. So we saw a lot more threat. We were a lot more in control in terms of a lot of the chances were falling upon us. Forest were gifting us a lot of corners as well, and it seemed like we just couldn't really put one away. Mudryk, though, with a beautifully pinpointed cross on Nkunku's head, that was when we really should have doubled our lead, and we should have, probably scored in that moment. So Nkunku unlucky to score, Joao Felix, of course, as well, unlucky to score. Neto's crosses, guys, might I say, that is really such a strong quality to his game. His crosses are just always so beautifully weighted. They are always finding someone. They're quite low as well, not just sort of spammed up high into the air. He always almost finds a man there. Again, unlucky not to get on the end of an assist there too. But it really did liven things up. It just, again, was really frustrating. We forced a double save, or Cole Palmer forced a double save from Sells there in their goal. And again, I think that game is a testament to both keepers for taking a point away for their sides, ultimately at the end of the day. But yeah, Cole Palmer, unlucky to score, unlucky not to score as well, actually. So yeah, a lot more was happening in those kind of final 10 minutes. There was 13 minutes of extra time, and deservingly, that's when we really tried to pick up the atmosphere, get behind the players, but at the end of the day, it just was not enough. So we walk away with a point into international break. We're still sat fourth, which is a positive for us to be where we are, considering the difference from last season when I think we were definitely in the bottom half of the table at this point last year. So yeah, great. Hopefully when we come back, we've got a couple of away games, obviously Conference League, and then a trip to Anfield, when we now know we will be without Wesley Fofana and Marco Correa due to their bookings. They won't be playing and available for that match. So it calls for Renato Vega and Tosin to come into that side, which I'm excited to see, because I think we haven't seen enough from both of them, but they've both shown enough promising qualities to be able to warrant themselves a start in this game. So it will be interesting to see how things leave off. I, like probably you, am not thrilled at the thought we have an international break again so soon after the previous one. And my biggest concern with it is keeping players fit, keeping players match fit, and hopefully preventing injuries as well. That's another thing that we all football fans, well, yeah, are worried about the end of the day. But it gives Maresca time to really review that game, review how the last couple of weeks have gone. But we can take pride that we're on the right track, guys, and this draw is not going to take us away. At the end of the day, Forest did play a tough game against us. They made it really difficult, and at the end of the day, we still walked away with a point. So that's all that matters. Let me know what your thoughts on the game were, guys, in the comments down below, how you feel about this one, what your thoughts are on Chelsea so far this season. And yeah, I'll be keen to find out. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave your likes, leave your comments, and I will see you in the next one. Up the Chels.